Hey guys. So on Saturday, I'm putting on this awesome Sattva yoga workshop in Edmonds, Washington, which you are very invited to go to, called The Power of Surrender. I'm really, really excited about this concept, and I've been mulling it over quite a bit the past few weeks as we create this workshop. And as a yogi, one of the things that I like to do is go to the Yoga Sutras to learn a little bit more about these concepts. And there's a niyama, which is essentially a duty unto yourself, something that you do to better yourself, called in Sanskrit, Ishvara Pranidhana. Ishvara Pranidhana, which generally translates into I surrender to divine. So just kind of giving up to divine, all of your offerings and all results of your actions, which I think is really lovely. It gives you a sense of service. My one catch with this is that I don't really like the concept or idea of surrendering to anything. I think when we have to surrender to something, there's a power play, right? So in order to surrender to something, that means there has to be a power over something else. And when that inequality comes into play, usually there is fear involved. People will start to move from a place of fear because they're afraid of losing their power, or you're afraid of surrendering because you're surrendering to something external. So how do we look at I surrender to divine and surrender and not having it be so much about surrendering to or this inequality? So in yoga, there's also this thing called your true self. If you have watched my other video called The Third Thing, I talk quite a bit about this. And it's really about divine, consciousness, the universe, whatever you want to call it. And again, it's believed in yoga that your true self is that. It is this connection to divine. You're an expression of the universe. A good way to describe that would be, so the universe divine is the ocean, and we are a wave being expressed through that ocean, which means that we are divine. It means that we are the ocean, right? So when we're surrendering to divine, we're surrendering to ourselves. And when that starts to happen, we're not really surrendering to anything. We're embodying surrender. I have this teacher in India, and he likes to say this thing, the practice, the state, the experience, right? So to put it in the context of surrender, when we practice surrender, and that can be done in many different ways, from meditation, mantra, yoga, just to moving in your truth, right? That's practicing surrender. You begin to experience surrender. You feel it viscerally in your body, what that feels like. And I bet you can relate to that and how that experience feels to you. And once you start to do that, you start to connect with your true nature, which is courage and love. And you become the state of that surrender. So I really encourage you to think about this a little bit more. What does it mean to you to practice, to be the state and the experience of surrender? And what are ways in which you can connect with that a little bit more? If you are in the Edmonds, Seattle area, I would love to have you at my workshop. There will be kirtan, there will be yoga, there will be community, and we will be diving very deeply into this concept of what it means to be surrender, what it means to be love, to move from that place. Ishvara Pranidhana. I surrender to divine. I surrender to my true nature, my true self.